Hey guys, it's Michael from Devoted to Vinyl, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can clean your records using a record cleaning machine, specifically the Okki Nokki. So in a previous video, I showed you the step-by-step process that I use to clean my records by hand. And although it's a manual process, what I like about it is that it's both effective and inexpensive to do. But in today's video, I wanted to show you how you can actually use a record cleaning machine to clean your records, which can actually help to automate the process and speed things up a bit if you have a lot of records to clean. Now this process requires more steps and moving parts, but it's possible that it might end up saving you time and energy in the long run. So let's take a closer look at how you can use a record cleaning machine like the Okki Nokki to be able to clean your records effectively.
Now, as mentioned in the previous video, when we talked about cleaning vinyl records by hand, you're going to want to make sure that the table you're using is even and very sturdy. Then you're going to want to place 1 or 2 dry towels on the top of the table. After that, place your record cleaning machine on top of the towels. The Okki Nokki machine comes with 3 buttons that you need to be familiar with. Number 1 is the power button in the back. Number 2 is the button that controls the turntable motor, which can rotate clockwise and counterclockwise. And number 3 is the button directly below it, which controls the attached vacuum that dries your record. Now the Okki Nokki comes with 50 milliliters of soap, but you need to mix this soap with 1 liter of purified water. Now I've already done this, as well as added 1 or 2 drops of rubbing alcohol and poured a small amount of it into this spray bottle. Some people may choose to not use rubbing alcohol, and that's perfectly fine. Whatever record cleaning solution you're comfortable with is what you should use. Also, some people like for their record solution to come out of a bottle with a pointed tip, like the bottle that comes with the Okki Nokki. But I use a spray bottle because I like that I can control how much liquid comes out, and it lessens the risk of the solution flowing over the record and onto the platter and the machine itself. Now to begin, you place your record onto the platter of the Okki Nokki. Then you use the record securing knob to secure your record to the platter. Now turn on the Okki Nokki's turntable motor so that it rotates clockwise. Then grab your record brush and just quickly remove any dust that might be on the surface of the record. This is the same action you would take if you were about to play your record on your turntable. Now, take the spray bottle that contains your solution and spray it onto the record. Make sure you get the record covered in the solution, but try not to get the label wet if possible. Once the record surface is wet, grab the brush that came with the Okki Nokki and just place it onto the record. The goal here is to spread around the solution on the record, while also making sure it gets into the grooves properly. Do this for about 6 to 8 revolutions. I then spray the solution onto the record a second time. At this point, I like to hit the turntable motor switch again, this time making the platter move counterclockwise. Now, taking the record brush, I angle it a bit to the side. The goal here is to not only get the solution into the grooves, but to allow the bristles to kick up dirt and debris out of the grooves so it can be sucked up by the vacuum brush. I do this for another 6 to 8 revolutions. Once you stop, the record should still be wet. If it's not wet, add more solution. You don't want to use the vacuum on a dry record. I then turn off the turntable motor. I then push the turntable motor switch on again, this time making it rotate clockwise like we initially did. Now, I take the vacuum brush and I rotate it to the left so that it can hover over the wet record. With the vacuum brush hovering over the record, hit the vacuum switch so the vacuum turns on. While the vacuum is on, I gently push down on the vacuum brush so that the brush makes contact with the surface of the record. Once that contact happens, the brush stays connected to the wet record and proceeds to dry it while the record rotates. Let the vacuum dry your record for 2 to 3 rotations or revolutions. Try not to go past this mark, as it's important to remember that the vacuum is producing heat in order to dry your record. Once that's done, turn off the motor of the record cleaning machine. Your record surface should look shiny, clean, and most of all, very dry. If so, it should be ready to go right onto your turntable to be played. One thing to keep in mind with a record cleaning machine like the Okki Nokki is that a little bit of maintenance is going to be required. In fact, you're going to need to do things like removing the vacuum brush after each cleaning so it can dry, or using warm water to wash out the brush that you used to spread the cleaning solution onto the record, or draining the machine of the dirty water that collects inside of it over time. These are all important things to do to maintain success in both your record cleaning process and the machine's longevity.
So that's it. You now know how to clean your records using a record cleaning machine like the Okki Nokki. Now, after watching this video, and maybe even after also checking out my video that I made previously on how to clean your records by hand, you might be wondering, which way should you really go? Should you save a lot of money and clean your records manually by hand, or should you pony up the money and buy a record cleaning machine to automate the process? Well, in order to prevent this video from being too long, I'm actually going to save my final thoughts on this subject for next week. And so that's what's going to be the subject for the next video. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button down below. You know I always appreciate that. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel Devoted to Vinyl if you always want to be alerted whenever I drop a new video. And as always, I want to leave you with a question. If you like to clean your records before you play them, do you like to clean them manually by hand, or do you like to use a record cleaning machine? Make sure you share your personal thoughts and experiences down below in the comments section. I really can't wait to hear what you guys have to say on this particular subject, and I'll be down there responding to as many people as I can as well. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week. I can't even say it after a while. Devoted. You know what to say. Devoted to vinyl. Just say it.